Cool situation. What's going on, y'all? I am here with the Ganja Guru, Roger, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
The one and only. And we are sitting here talking about CannaFollower, which I'm excited about. Roger is going to be one of the first creators that actually comes onto the platform and starts to give us some behind the scene footage and start your subscription business, which I'm very passionate about. So Roger, tell me what kind of problems. I want to get straight into what your problems are. Because my goal with CannaFollower is to actually help creators like you to make a sustainable amount of money without having to wait on ad dollars or without having to compromise the integrity of the content that you create.
I mean, you just said my problems. Like, those are my problems. Like, as a content creator, a cannabis content creator in particular, we have to walk this fine line of making money off something that is not necessarily looked at as a moral or a legitimate business source from a big majority of a space, even if that majority is literally not a majority.
Yep.
It's the powerful majority right now. So it's hard to find like the brands that we work with don't have the opportunity for banking, so it's hard to get money on demand. So even when they do have the want and desire to work with people like us, which a lot of people don't even see the worth in working with content creators, because we have this specific niche of like relationships with brands as well as community.
Yep.
That when those brands can't get a billboard or a commercial because the banking and the regulations don't allow those things to be done, we are the people who market, and not just market, testimony and advocate for your products amongst like the world, not just the world, like, I mean, not just consumers in a state by state, but across the world, whether it's like on social media or on t-shirts that we wear or on videos that go viral, any of those things. So it's hard to get actually monetized in a way that is like not feeling like we're doing a lot for a little. And yeah, that's one of my hardest things, and like storage on my phone.
Storage
but
on your
also a lot of that is a problem, because I get a lot of content that I don't feel is worth putting on these other platforms, because people won't see it and they won't appreciate it because they don't understand. So it's really cool to hear that this is a place that is really intentional, much more than anything. It's a place that I can say, hey, if you want it, it's there. Like, this is even if it is just like, you know, the bare minimum, this is an intentional place that I can see, oh, 2 people are interested. That's more than I thought. Like, 5 people are interested. Like, let's keep building this community. And like, as we speak about, like, it's just an honor that I get to be in like first stages of some of these, of the cannabis industry in itself is very much in its infantry. Like, it's very young, and these things that we're doing, like CannaFollower being one of the first of those, is an amazing honor, because hopefully we get to figure out that, like, that fine line of how we can put the creator and the consumer and the company in this symbiotic relationship that everybody feels appreciated. But also, like, I'm getting to be a first, like, California added cannabis to the agricultural crops for the state fair, and I'll be one of the judges for that this year. So that's another first. I'm looking forward to really being able to share that process on CannaFollower. Like, that'll be something that I can really say, like, going live with the followers and talking about the things that we're tasting, or even just the experience of being there. They're going to have on-site consumption. So those are things that, you know, Instagram might be cool, but like, this could be more intentional place.
Right.
So I'm excited about that.
Right. And you know, what really gets me is first of all, I didn't know nothing about this 2 years ago. Let me give you some backstory, right? So I'm just a freelance producer out here deciding to make shows, and a company hits me up and it's like, hey, do you want to produce a podcast with Exhibit and a really popular cannabis influencer, Tammy the Cannabis Cutie, about this is how I got introduced to it. So I'm reading through it. I'm like, all right, cool. This sounds like a cool show. I have never done a show about weed. Always kind of consumed, but I'm from Indiana, so it was illegal. You consuming, but you ain't consuming at the level here. So I'm fresh to LA. I'm about a year into being in LA. and I get the opportunity to do this show, and I'm finding so many problems with monetization. And I'm working with so many other creators, whether that's at my job, whether that's independently, where it's like, I know that you can make money off this content. And I had never seen so many hurdles until I talked to Tammy and Exhibit, and y'all started to, and then they introduced me to you. And that just, everything just became, why don't these people get, these are people who are talking about something legal. It's a plant.
It's a plant.
And all of these social media outlets have waged war against you because they don't want you to talk positively about it. It's not that they don't want you to talk about it, because that's not what the community guidelines say. The community guidelines say you can't glorify the consumption of marijuana. But what's crazy is I can open my app and have all these prescription ads.
You can have overconsumption ads. You can have bongs and
alcohol.
Thongs. You can have over sexuality. You can have alcohol. All these things that like kind of feed into not negative imagery. It really that
gambling.
For them, that's luxury imagery, but it actually leads to a negative or dangerous lifestyle. And we don't talk about that. We only speak about wellness and positive consumption and conscious consumption.
You don't even have a space. They take your page and they shadow ban you.
Absolutely.
They put you in the basement of the internet, which is why my shirt says stop smoking in the basement of the internet, because I think it's crazy that there's not a place online. And then I looked at OnlyFans. I said, surely if you could sell nudes, you could take some pictures of some weed nuggets. No, they're based in the UK. They don't want you to talk positively about weed at all. Wow. And I started to meet OnlyFans creators who were having issues with being taken down from that platform. So you don't even have a space. So that's why I'm like, you know what, let me get some servers. Let me figure it out, because we can build something together. And I'm not trying to make no huge money off this. This is one of the many businesses that I own. One of my new goals is I want to franchise by I'm 40.
Yeah.
So I'm like, franchise by 40 is the thing. So
that's the thing, I say.
I want this to be like something that is culturally based, where it can empower people like you to create a business around a lifestyle, and because you're shooting great content, you're spreading the word, you're being a good steward, like you said, to the plant. So it's an honor to be able to work with you and build something together where it's like you take 80% of every dollar that you make on the site. Automatically, you can request it tonight, tomorrow, whatever. You set up your banking information, you just press payout. I don't even have your part of the money. It's not set up like that.
Wow. That's perfect. No, that's
20%. Keep the servers running. Pay me enough to keep investing in it and doing the thing.
Feed the dog and the wife and keep it moving.
And you know how much YouTube pays their partners for ad revenue?
I haven't made it to that place yet.
That's another problem. It's hard to get to there with all of the eligibility.
Yeah.
They give them 55% of the ad revenue.
Oh wow.
YouTube ain't YouTubing no more. And that's why people do Patreon, and that's why people do OnlyFans. And it's a part of the mix. And by no means am I saying that you have to stop doing those other things, but what I'm saying is you need to add it to your mix of things, because it's a revenue
where
source.
You should put your majority. You can see where you put your energy. I think that's one of the coolest things about how it appears to me. It's like you can literally have transparency on how engaged people are, and like the engagement on the other social media platforms is like, it is there because the audience is there, but like if someone comes to the CannaFollower.com, like that means that they intentionally want it to be there for you and for this plant. And like that's gonna be hopefully what we need, you know, to I'm gonna be pushing it. I'm gonna be pushing it to all of my audience and my creator friends. So I'm looking forward to seeing the snowball effect of it growing, because that will mean all of us are growing at the same time, and people are growing and they're getting valuable education, content, and entertainment. Yeah.
So listen, y'all, CannaFollower.com is in its alpha stages, so we just getting the first creators on there. But if you want to subscribe to any, go ahead and go to Ganja Guru's page. I'll link it in the description. Just subscribe, just off the top. If you support this message, if you support anything that we talk about, just subscribe and watch the journey. Okay? That's all we're asking you to do. So, Roger, thanks for having me here at the studio. We'll be dropping his trailer soon, which I'll also link in the bio there. So, yeah, thanks for having me today, and we will continue to grow together. this won't be the last video we'll do together.
No, not at all.
Because every issue that we have, we gonna talk about.
I like it. I think that's
Yeah.
a good, like, transparency is like inevitable for growth. Like,
Yep.
you know, and I'm here for it.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, y'all.